Ah! No. Okay, there we go. Leoha. Jesus Christ. That killed all my freaking windows. I accidentally did a thing and it killed all of my windows, but it's okay. We're back. Leoha, hello everyone. Kagero, thank you so much for the super sticker. Really appreciate it. Hello, hello. Hello everyone. How's the birthday party without us? We didn't have a birthday party. There was no party that was had. It was just my roommate's boyfriend's birthday yesterday, and so my roommate bought him a cake, and like I said, he's not really my friend necessarily, so I didn't really celebrate. I just went out to sing happy birthday and then went back to stream. Hello, hello. And he appreciated all the happy birthdays. What kind of cake? It was a coffee Kahlua cheesecake. Food good at least? We had cake. What did I have for dinner yesterday? What did I have for dinner yesterday? I don't remember. I don't remember. Oh shit, I'm getting fucking old. I can't remember what I ate yesterday. What did we eat yesterday? Wait, I feel crazy. What did we... Was yesterday Monday? Oh my god, I genuinely do not remember what we had. Oh, we had pizza. We had pizza from my roommate's boyfriend's. It was his favorite pizza place, local pizza place, so we had that. My brain, everything has been a fucking blur. I'm not even joking to you. Like, my brain is just off. It's just off. It's also been a lot of socializing, which obviously, like, I mean, I'm enjoying it. I'm having a really good time because my friends are here and I haven't seen them in a while, and I really enjoy spending time with them. But also, it's like my like, I'm just not mentally here most of the time. I genuinely was considering today. I was like, oh, I kind of want to play Pokemon TCG, but they're out for dinner and I don't know when they're gonna be back, so the stream might be short. It kind of will just depend on when they come back. If I hear them and they have returned, then I will probably turn off or start wrapping up to turn off stream and go entertain them some more. But today I woke up pretty early. We went out, we went to the market, then we went to the mall, and then we walked around. My roommate had to return something, had to return that, and all this stuff. They're currently out with relatives right now because they have some relatives in the neighborhood-ish. Does talking about the Palcaries tax your social battery, or does it kind of feel like time to yourself since you're not actually here? It does not tax my social battery, but it is different than being alone. So I would say that the biggest issue with me is that my social battery drains really, 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 really fast. But the reason why it drains so fast is, I think one of my big issues is that I am incredibly hyper anxious about, like, I don't know how to explain it, but essentially if I'm like in a situation where I'm in a group setting, I'm hanging out with people, I am one of those people that have to make sure that everyone is having a good time all the time and that no one feels left out, and that I will literally talk to someone I don't like if I feel like they are not having a good time, because I am so hyper anxious about everyone in the same room having a good time. And I have many a times spent times at a hanging out with the person I like the least because I want them to have a good time, which, you know, it's a double-edged sword, because one of the edges is that I obviously get socially exhausted, and then the second edge, but the good edge, the positive edge, is that, most people when they hang out with me, they're like, wow, Lyra sure is awesome and fun to hang out with, because obviously I'm at my own expense. I'm making sure that everyone there is like enjoying themselves. So it leaves a fairly good impression for me, which has not only helped me like socially to make friends or whatever, but it has really helped me in a lot of instances career-wise, because it tends to leave a really good impression on people, and people feel like I'm a really good people person, which is not true. It's all a big phony act. But yeah, yes, exactly. Every interaction is extrovert roleplay ASMR. Literally. It is literally extrovert roleplay. And so me putting on that front and working extra hard to make sure everyone's having a good time and working extra hard to being perceived as extroverted is what causes me to have a very, very narrow social battery, because now every time I go out, it's like I have to give 200%. And so it's just like really tiring on me. So I can't have a lot of social interaction. So that's kind of why like hanging out with people can be a little bit like that. When I hang out with you guys, I don't really care. I mean, I do care, but at the same time, in a way, I don't care generally. So it's kind of hard to explain, but essentially, as a whole, I care, obviously, if I'm being entertaining, and I do have to put an effort to be entertaining and to put on my entertainer face and to make sure you guys are having a good time. But I don't have to make sure that each individual person is having a good time. And I also don't have to make sure that people who I don't like are having a good time, because if someone is an asshole in my chat, I just ban them. It's as easy as that. I just kick them out and they just don't have to be here, because it is, like I can choose that. I can choose who is here and not, right? So I don't have to expend the energy to appease people that I don't really care about. Whereas I think in real life, I'm spending a little bit more energy doing that, because it's like a little bit more, I feel like, I know a lot of people, like you guys are saying, like, why don't you guys just not do that? Why do you just not do that? Why do you care? Because for me, believe it or not, I have had so many opportunities in my life that were given to me or accelerated or considered more heavily because of this sort of persona that I put on. And I think that has helped in my life immensely in a lot of situations. And I would not be here where I am today if it were not for a lot of those opportunities. So I feel like what I do not only helps the people pleaser whatever inside of me, but it has also genuinely helped me throughout my life. So, and it's not like a huge deal for me to do it or not. I mean, it drains my social battery, sure, but like, it's fine. I don't have to hang out with people all the time. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's what it is. You don't have to monitor a bunch of nonverbal cues in smaller groups within. Yeah, and then I get like very anxious if I like, in my corner of my eye, I see somebody like not having a good time or like on their phone the entire time. Then I'll like really put in extra effort. And I don't want to like say, by the way, that this is like, it is very mentally taxing, but it's not necessarily, I don't hate it. Does that make sense? Like, I don't want it to seem like, oh, I have to do this thing that I hate. It's not that. I usually, at the end of a social gathering, I have a good time. It's just, I feel extremely exhausted. Does that make sense? I'm not like doing it despite me hating it. It's just that it's a lot of work. I put in a lot of effort to maintain friendships and to maintain a good, appearance in front of other people, especially when I meet new people. I put in like super extra work. So it just takes a lot out of me socially, and then I just need like a whole ass fucking week to recharge. So my roommate, I've mentioned, Rumi-chan is even more of an introvert than I am, but she has like mentioned sort of that like to our other friends, essentially she's even more of an introvert than I am, but she can do more social situations than I can, because she is the type of person that does not pay attention to those things. So for her, the social situation is exhausting, but it's not quite as exhausting as it is for me. if she has a social interaction, she just needs like a day to rest and she can go out again the next day. For me, I need like an entire week to rest after I've had one social interaction. So it's like a little bit different, even though I'm a lot more extroverted and outgoing than she is. It's just like a different way of us processing, you know? Sayo-chan-nim, thank you so much for the super chat. Can you be my waifu? No. As a friend though, for visa? You're trying to use me for my visa? You're trying to get a green card out of me? No, I can't be your waifu. I'm sorry. I'm sure there are many other waifus out there for you to wife and to get a green card out of, but unfortunately I will not be the one to give you that. Sorry. Sorry, there's no parasocial relationships here. Sorry about that. It's like an armored core. She's got the fast social battery recharge generator. Yeah, exactly. She's more hesitant to go out. She's more like needs to stay in longer, but it's just one of those things where she can bounce back faster than I can. And I think she was really, really surprised at that, because I think, again, a lot of people who don't know me super, super well don't realize like just how exhausting social situations are for me. So I don't think they understand quite how heavily my battery can get drained. And obviously, since my roommate, she lives with me, she has a pretty good understanding of that, which is really helpful, because she, you know, well, it works out because she's also introverted. So a lot of times if I'm like feeling too tired to go out, she's like, great, good excuse for me to not go out. So anyway, that is my weird long-winded answer. Again, it is very different than spending time by myself. It's very different than spending time with my roommate. But when I spend time with you guys, it's, again, usually a lot more like I can just do whatever and I don't really have to. I am paying attention, but I don't really have to as much as when I'm, you know, just out and about with people. So anyway, hope that answered your very long-winded way of answering your question. Sorry. Hope you're doing good. Just want to say hi. I'm going to work overnight. Good luck at work. Good luck. Good luck. Thanks for stopping by and saying hi. Appreciate it. After 4 weeks straight of constant social interactions, I had to disconnect from everyone and everything for a while. No, I get it. I get it. It is like definitely 4 weeks is a long time. You are a sprinter while she's a marathon runner. Exactly. That is exactly true. Exactly true. Your shorts are great. Have you guys been enjoying the shorts? The animated shorts, the most recent ones on my channel, I did not know that was what they were doing until I received them to upload them. So I was also surprised, and I saw them for the first time like last week. I was like, oh. So I'm glad you guys are enjoying them. They're very cute. The animation's really great. And if you guys have been watching all the VN Universe episodes as well? So those ones I've obviously seen beforehand, since I have to voice act in them. The ones recently on my own channel, those ones are kind of like surprise for me as well. So VN Universe is great. Those episodes are poggers. I'm glad you like. If you guys like them, please leave a comment on them about like your favorite part or what you thought was really funny, and be sure to hit a like on there. I know this sounds like such a shill, but essentially if you want more of them, that is what you have to do. As I always say, with anything, especially at VNU, more so than anywhere else, you need to comment and let them know how much you like it. Otherwise, we may not ever get them again. Just putting that out there. Luca boy, thank you so much for 2 months of membership. I like your icon. Is that a sus Kokone? Oh, hey, one of those things where I get to say something, but I have no idea what to say. So I guess Lyra is cute, Lyra is cute, Lyra is cute. Aw, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. I like your sussy Kokone icon. Also, I was feeling kind of nauseous all day, so I was a little worried, but actually I feel quite better right now. It's the Palkyrie, the Palkyrie aura giving me strength. But yeah, it's been sorry, I've just been so out of it lately and been doing a lot of collabs. I feel bad because as you guys might have seen on Twitter, I posted like a tweet where I was like, hey, whoever wants to collab with me, feel free to like let me know. And I've been messaging a lot of people, so like my DMs are like there's a lot more than normal, and doing DMs also takes a lot out of me socially. So unfortunately, I have a bunch of people that I have not read the DMs. I'm so sorry. I don't think any of them watch my stream, so it's fine. I guess they won't hear me say sorry, but I have been meaning to get to them. I just like, you know, my brain can only handle so much right now. Agotan, thank you so much for 19 months of membership. My membership is aging like not fine wine. What do you mean not fine wine? Aging like fine wine. Speaking of wine, my friend gave me this bottle of wine recently and it tasted like poo-poo. It was so bad. Ugh. Not all wine is created equally for sure. I've been like more open to white wine lately, which I didn't like at all before, but recently I had another bottle of white wine that was not so great. It was just okay. I wasn't, you know, wasn't a huge fan, unfortunately. Ryan, thank you so much for 10 months of fan cruise. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you so, so much. Reno, thank you so much for 19 months of whale cruise. Oh my lord, we're aging like fine avocado. Do avocados like go bad fast or something? Didn't know what to say, so blank. No, that's totally fine. I appreciate it. Thank you. Leave it and make vinegar. Did you guys know that like if you leave wine, it turns into vinegar? It like has like this like puck that gets created. What is it called? It's called like the mother or something, isn't it? Isn't that puck called the mother? We age like fine eggs. Starfire, thank you for so much for 19 months of membership. Oh my god, eggs. The mother is the yeast. Yes, yeah, you call it the mother. The mother. Mother vinegar, yeah. The mother of vinegar. Anyway. Sorry, I keep saying it's been a week because it really has been a week and my brain is just looping that in my brain. My brain is just looping like it's been a week. What a week. What a week for literally everyone and anyone. I'm also really tired. I woke up a little bit earlier than I normally do, and I don't know. I don't know how to fix my sleep schedule. It's Tuesday. It is Tuesday. I know. This has been I don't know how to like my sleep schedule. Work a 9 to 5. No, see, the thing is I'm so afraid now. So afraid because once I get an actual job again, I'm fucked. I'm actually boned because I can't wake up for the life of me right now. It's just not great. Do you need to fix it right now? I don't. I think I'm like pretty okay right now as I am, but it's just when I have people over, you know, we're kind of doing stuff a little bit easier, a little earlier. So I woke up even just an hour earlier today, and like I said, I felt nauseous all day. I felt like shit, like, oh my god. And I can't like go to sleep early. Yesterday I was like, I'll go to sleep early, so I went to bed at 3 or 4, which is a lot earlier than I have been normally, because normally I go to bed at like 5 or 6. So I was like, okay, I'll just wake up an hour earlier. Easy. I just sleep an hour earlier. And then I laid in bed and I was just up for like 2-3 hours. And I was like, Jesus, I feel like I was even up later than I normally would be. Yeah. Oh, you know, yesterday my friends and I played this board game. Do you guys like board games? Hey, thank you so much for becoming a fan, Cree. I really appreciate it. Ghosty-chan, thank you so much for 16 months as a whale, Cree. Oh my goodness, thank you so much. What is considered a normal sleep schedule anyways? Like I wake up at 5 a.m. for work. Is that considered early or normal? I don't know. Anyways, head pats for that. That's early. That's early. Me and my homies love Catan. Oh my gosh, so my friends were actually gonna bring Catan because I've been wanting to play Catan, but they forgot to bring it. I kind of want to buy my own set of Catan, but yeah, I just don't. I just never really have a reason to, so I don't. Yeah, I haven't bought it. And what are your guys' favorite board games? You guys have favorite board game besides Catan? It looks like a lot of you guys are mentioning Catan. Catan's online client over the Panini, I was actually playing a lot of Catan during that because they had an online client, but I feel like it's gotten really bad, the online client. It was like usable before, but now I feel like it's just ass. Codenames, oh, I do own Codenames actually. I do own Codenames. I feel like I should play Codenames. That client is trash. It is trash. It is trash. Snakes and ladders. I don't know if that counts. Like the new model. It's technically not a new model. If I do this, you can see it breaks. It's just a little asset that I was able to stitch together. But thank you. I really appreciate it. You have no one to play board games with regularly? Well, if it makes you feel better, I also don't have anyone to play board games with regularly yet. I have a couple board games. Yesterday, my friends brought this game called Mysterium. Have any of you guys played Mysterium? It's kind of like Clue, except there's like a person who is like the DM basically, and they're like the ghost, and they give you like dreams, and then you have to like match the stuff as dreams. There's a digital version? Really? Mysterium's fun. Yeah, it's pretty fun, but like, okay, I'm not gonna lie, I feel like I'm like too good of a ghost. I feel like we were playing Mysterium yesterday, and I had one round where I was ghost, and everyone matched it in like the first thing, you know? I was like, damn, I'm kind of a good ghost. I'm not good at guessing, but I think I'm good at ghosting. The other way around, I'm kind of bad. I'm kind of ass at guessing when people give me the clues, but I'm really good at giving clues. Does that make sense? If you guys are familiar with Mysterium, you guys will know what I'm talking about. Oh my god, I fucking loved Tanto Kyore. I actually owned Tanto Kyore and 2 of the expansions back in like when it first came out, like 2011? Holy shit. But I lost those in a move. I don't know where they went. They all disappeared. But I really enjoyed Tanto Kyore a lot. I liked putting you could put all your maids in the like in your chambers. It was like locking them up in the dungeon. But I think it was for Super Chat. Where are my Twilight Imperium homies? What's Twilight? I'm looking it up. I've never seen this game before. This game looks cool, except it has a lot of freaking pieces. This reminds me, I really liked, there's this one Star Trek. No, it wasn't Star Trek. What is Cylons from? Oh, shoot. What series is that? Not Starfield. It's one of those sci-fi series. It was like you had Battlestar Galactica. Yes, correct. There's this one Battlestar Galactica board game, and I really enjoyed that. It's like where you have to find out who's the Cylon. That was really fun. I really liked that game. And but my favorite board game is actually pretty underrated. It's called wait, what the fuck is it called? Oh shit, I went blank. I had it in a second, but I had it a second ago and now I lost it. It's something Hunters. Something Hunters? It has anime art. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? Board game. Japanese Hunters. Shadow Hunters! Yeah! Shadow Hunters! Shadow Hunters is my favorite board game. And that also, I had this like thing of board game boxes that got lost during a move. So Tanto Kyore was in there, but also Shadow Hunters was in there. So I've been also meaning to re-buy Shadow Hunters. It sucks because I even had the expansion for Shadow Hunters as well. Really liked this game. I really like, because this one's also a Amogus game. So this is before Amogus came out. So there was like a bunch of board games like Bang that was like this. So there was Bang, Shadow Hunters, the Battlestar Galactica one. There was a bunch of them, but I liked Shadow Hunters the most because it had the most like, it was the least conflict. I'm very conflict averse. So like Bang, and what was the other one? Not Dominion. There was like the one big Amogus one. Resistance! Yeah. Resistance. I fucking hate Resistance. I will not play Resistance because every time I play Resistance, people get in a fight. And I'm like, it's just a fucking game. Like, please. Please don't fight. I really hate Resistance. So it's one of my least favorite games. It's one of my least favorite games. But I really like Shadowhunters because Shadowhunters is kind of like, it takes that Resistance / Bang stuff, but it takes out the arguing in it. It takes out all of the arguing part of it, and so I like Shadowhunters more. You ever played Ticket to Ride? No, Ticket to Ride is one of those games where like it's like how a lot of you guys were saying I play a lot of board games but I've never played Catan. Ticket to Ride is I've never played Ticket to Ride even though I play a lot of board games. I really like Ticket to Ride, I really wanted to play Ticket to Ride, but I feel like nobody has the board game. A lot of my friends are like, oh, I've played it because somebody else had it, but I've never played it myself because none of my friends have it. Bang. Yeah, that's why I hated Bang. Every time people are like, we're going to play Bang, I'm like, nah, I'm going to sit out. I'm not in it. There was this other, and I'm like such a fucking like, I'm such a hoe for like little, I keep trying to say giblets. Not giblets. They're not giblets. Like little like trinkets. That's the word I'm looking for. There was this one game that was Munchkin but with dice. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? Board game. Dice culling. It was like a dice. It was like a deck building game except it was with dice. Quarriors. Yes, Quarriors. If you guys are not familiar with Quarriors and you like what do you call it? This one also got lost in my move. If you like, what do you call it? Sorry, my brain. Munchkins. The game Munchkin, but you like dice. Quarriors is Munchkin, but with dice instead. It's really, really good. And the dice are so cute. And each dice is like a different kind of monster. And they're all so cute. And there was like expansion. It's out of print. Wait, I'm so sad. I lost my Quarrior game, like I said, in the move. That makes me sad. Tragedy Looper. I'm looking it up. Okay, honestly, any game that has anime in it, the reason this is such a fucking Leora thing, and this was literally 10 years ago, more than 10 years ago, but when I bought Shadowhunters, I didn't fucking know anything about Shadowhunters. I just saw that there was anime on it, and I was like, done deal. I bought it. Oh, sorry, not Munchkin Dominion. You're absolutely right. Not Munchkin Dominion. Yeah. They just put out a new retranslated version of Tragedy Looper, and it's much improved. See, it has anime on it. I'm like already sold. I'm in. Where can I buy it? I'm in. I'm sold. How do I know which one is the one that's retranslated? Which is the better one? Midnight Circle? Is that the better one? Funny thing is the anime art instantly relegates a board game to niche. People are just uncultured, that's why. Uncultured swine. It's the Whiz Kids one. I don't know what that is. Tragedy Looper Whiz Kids. I'm looking it up. Because there's one on Amazon, but it doesn't say which version it is. Okay, I see it. It's $35. 35 buckaroonies. Oh man, Fujo Pal would fucking love this too, because she really likes Higurashi and stuff as well. There's an Epic 7 board game? Really? Man, I haven't played Epic 7 since launch. Have you guys noticed that it's been like almost 10 years since Epic 7 came out too? Unicornus Knight. Well, now I'm getting all the board game recommendations. I like this. Why does this looks like Settlers of Catan except anime? Is this anime Settlers of Catan? Oh my god, Rosie is wife. I'm marrying Rosie. I got dragged into Epic 7 because of Honkai Star Rail. Wait, what does that have to do with Honkai Star Rail? They took Quarriors out of print. They reworked it into collectible TCG style 1v1 game called Dice Master. Same gameplay, but now it has that rare chasing element. Oh, interesting. But I don't want a 1v1 board game. I feel like if I want 1v1, I'll play TCGs. I feel like the thing that's fun about board games is that you can play with multiple people. Chainsomnia. It's like Betrayal on House. Ooh, I played Betrayal at House on the Hill recently, actually, because Fujo Pal really likes that as well. I hope everyone's just writing down these games because I sure am. Chainsomnia. Damn, all of these anime games are so much more expensive than like the Western counterparts though. Chainsomnia, interesting. I'm looking at the box art and stuff. It's like co-op version of Betrayal at House on the Hill. Cool. That's cool. I was playing Star Rail and I felt the urge again because they're both turn-based. You know what? I'm not gonna lie. When I dropped Star Rail, I considered picking up Epic 7 again, so it might have had the same effect on me too, weirdly. Have you heard of BattleTech? No, I'm looking it up. Just getting all of the board game recommendations. Oh, this one has a Steam version? Wait, is this the same thing? What is this? BattleTech? Game of Armored Combat. Is that the one? There's a bunch. They have like a bunch of different versions. They released a Betrayal at Baldur's Gate? Really? That's so funny. I feel like Betrayal would do well as a point-and-click adventure game or something like Baldur's Gate 3. Yeah, true. Japanime generally has cheaper games than most board games. Really? When's Tanto Kyore time? You guys said there's an online version now, right? Is it its own client? It's on Steam? Okay, but what if I actually played Tanto Kyore? I'm not lying to you guys when I said I went to a convention and they had like a demo. I went to like, what do you call it? Anime Expo in like 2011. And that's where I bought Tanto Kyore. They had like a demo and then like I played it and I was like, it's literally right now I'm gonna say the wrong one. Is this one the one that's like Dominion or like Munchkins? It's Dominion. It's Dominion. I think my Fujo pal called it Maid Minion. That's what we used to call it. It's like Dominion but with maids, which obviously makes everything better instantly. There's a Grand Blue Fantasy board game? Wait, really? What? Jita starter set. We don't talk about that one? Oh, okay. Is it bad? There's a lot of Battletech video games and novels and such in addition to the tabletop. It's kind of like Warhammer that way. There's also a Mech Warrior, which is the same universe. Interesting. Your favorite board game is Race for the Galaxy. It's a sister game for Roll for the Galaxy. It's a card drafting space empire game. Roll for the Galaxy is the same but with dice. Race for the Galaxy. I'm looking it up. See, my biggest gripe with most board games though is I hate the art. It's like, it's not that the art is bad. It's that I'm a fucking weeb. Oh, this one's kind of cool though. There's no people in it, which is nice. I don't want to look at people. Oh no, there's people. I see people. Never mind. It got a little less nice. Interesting. I've never seen this one, Race for the Galaxy. It's kind of cool. I like the way that it's set up. Dominion style deck building is my favorite fucking genre of board game. It's pretty good. I do love deck building board games, but honestly, I'm not gonna lie. I think with deck building, I almost prefer just playing roguelike games on the computer. I think for board games, what I want is something more like either co-op-y or like semi-co-op-y, which is why I think I like Shadowhunters so much, because it's like co-op, but you just don't know who is in your team, and that's why it's like really fun, personally. I'm trying to read everything. Viticulture. I'm looking it up. I also much prefer games that have a cool board or like pieces than just card-based board games personally. So I'm like, I really like this one game called Machikoro because it's really cute. It's about making wine. Oh, interesting. Is it like Catan but with wine? There's like a tasting room and everything. Machikoro is cute, but the only thing about Machikoro is that my biggest gripe about Machikoro and some other board games that I've played, including the Battlestar Galactica one, any board game where I need to explain the rules for longer than I play the game. Although the Battlestar Galactica one, the game itself is really fucking long too. But in general, if like, it's just like, there's just the explanation is too much. It's really hard for me to get my friends to play it. Legendary, I have played Legendary actually. I really do enjoy one of my friends, he has like all the expansions. When I was younger, I almost said something that would have been kind of doxing. When I was younger, I had like a group of friends that we used to play board games together. So we would, like, it was like 4 of us, and we would always get together and just go to random cafes and play board games which was really hard to do because back then I feel like it was a lot harder. Like, board game culture wasn't as big as it is now. So it was hard to find cafes that would actually let you just like first of all, have a big enough table that you could play board games at. And then second of all, would kind of allow that because sometimes they consider that loitering, you know? Mizma, welcome. We're talking about board games. Do you have a favorite board game, Mizma? Have you ever played a board game? Are you a board game player? So... yeah, and then it was just, yeah, so there was just a bunch of like, we had 2 cafes that we used to go to pretty often, and then we kind of moved to one cafe, and then that cafe closed down, and then we all just stopped playing board games together, which is a little unfortunate. Your board game table finally arrived. You know, it's so funny that you mentioned that because literally 2 hours before this stream, I got an Instagram ad for a board game table. And I was like, that's really fucking random because I feel like I never talk about board games, that they would randomly give me that ad. But it looked really cool. It had all the little modular stuff. And it also like, it feels like a roulette table in Vegas. Like a casino roulette table. I was like, oh, that's interesting. Targeted ad, read mind that they hear you. Yeah, I think they did hear me because we were playing Mysterium yesterday. So we were talking about board games. So my phone probably overheard. Yeah, you want a mahjong table? Me too. I want the auto shuffling mahjong table. You know the mahjong table that shuffles the mahjong tiles for you? That's what I want. You got a similar ad before a D&D table? Well, the one that I got an ad for was like a D&D/board game table. So it was like for both. Okay, I'm going to be right back because I actually randomly really need to pee. I'll be right back. I'm going to use the restroom and also get me some more water. Talk amongst yourselves. Put in your favorite board game. No, let's not go for favorite. Let's talk about what board game you think is the most underrated. Put it in chat and then... you guys can maybe share some ideas and I'll be right back. It'll be like a couple minutes. Just give me a second. Hello, I'm back. Let me see. I'm gonna go read what you guys wrote. Merchant of Venus. I'm looking it up. Merchant of Venus. Oh, this board is crazy. This is like one of the craziest looking. This board looks very, I don't know how to say it, but like almost retro. This board is, this is one of the most wacky boards I've ever seen. Merchant of Venus. How it looks almost like a game that I would have played in my childhood, you know? Oh my god, I love Risk. Back in ye old day, Risk was one of the few phone games that you could play. Wow, I sound so old, but this was like before there was an app store. I mean, there was an app store, but it wasn't quite like the app store that we have now. When I was in school, I won't say what school because I feel like it's doxing, but you guys already know I'm fucking old. But like Risk was one of the games you could play on the very first phones that were kind of considered smart, and I used to play Risk in school all the freaking time. Good times. A Pokemon trivia game? I don't think I've had Pokemon Monopoly. Pokemon Sorry was one of my favorite ones growing up. Dark Souls board game. What the heck? I didn't even know there was one. BattleCon. BattleCon. It's kind of interesting that a lot of these board games are very sci-fi oriented. Well, this one isn't, but this one's art's really cool. BattleCon. It has really neat art style that I don't dislike. I feel like a lot of these board games have art styles that I don't like, but this one's really nice. I like the art style. Whoa, it's like the board is really interesting. Is this like a fighting game? Is this a 1v1 game? It looks like a 1v1 board game. Interesting. The Star Wars deck builder? No, I haven't heard of that one. I have nobody to play board games with? Oh no. Well, I think board games are generally universal, so if you can find even a couple friends that are willing to try it, I highly recommend it. I've converted many normie friends into playing board games. They didn't realize how fun board games could be, so you can definitely give it a shot as well. What category do card games fall into, especially if they need to be laid out on a table? If it's something like Munchkins, I would say that's still a board game, right? Blood on the Clock Tower. I haven't heard of that one. Blurred on the Clock Tower. Whoa. The box is so pretty. It looks like a book. BattleCon is a fighting game translated into board game. Yeah, that seems really cool. It looks like a book. I really like the box. Wait, you play inside of the box? Or is that just someone just doing that? Interesting. This one looks really neat. Blood on the Clock Tower. Huh. Very cool. Arcadia Quest, but Lyra doesn't like conflict. Yeah, I don't like conflict, so anything that has conflict in it is just a little too much, you know? Unless it's like I said, like you can work together or something, but Dark Souls board game is fun to play with friends. Interesting. Super Dungeon Explore was cool. Terraforming Mars is on such a vibe. Risk was the Mario Party of board games. Everdell? It's more fantasy than anime. That's fine. I'm gonna look it up. Everdell. Ooh, it's pretty. You make a tree? What the heck? Whoa, the board looks cool. The tree in the middle? What is that? There's like stuff on the tree and there's like fruit. There's like little pieces. Are those pebbles? The tree holds the deck. Wait, that's very interesting looking. Pixel Tactics is really good. I'm looking it up as well. Oh, it's so cute. It has that like it looks like a Game Boy Advance game. The art style. It looks like Final Fantasy Tactics Advance pixels. Pixels are really, really cute. But I don't know if I like that board setup. But, you know, never judge a game by its board setup, I suppose. Although that is it is a selling point, I suppose. Tanto Cuore is fun. Yeah, I do love Tanto Cuore. Have you seen the game Gun and Gun? No, Gun and Gun. Oh, the art style's cool. It reminds me of Arknights a little bit. Has that sort of Arknights slash what's that one gun girl game that I suddenly am blanking out on the name of. Pixel Tactics is actually the same universe as BattleCon, even though the art's very different. Oh, is that also a 1v1 game? I have both a regular and there's a Mega Man Pixel Tactics. That seems cool. Nikkei, no, I was thinking of Girls Frontline. That's what I was thinking of. I wonder if Yu-Gi-Oh has board games. Well, we were actually just talking about like the Yu-Gi-Oh TTRPG trope, card trope that just came out. I'm missing a bunch of, sorry, I'm trying to like keep track of where I am in chat so I don't miss any cool suggestions. BattleCon is technically a 1v1 game, but it's deep enough that it's still satisfying to watch. I've had days where my board game group just rotated BattleCon while the other 5 watch. Whoa. VTuber mega game collab would be cool. Yeah, there's a lot of games. See, the issue is that like they need to have like a good client, which a lot of these board games don't have, and we can't use Tabletop Sim, even though I know everyone uses I used a lot of Tabletop Sim during the Panini, but we're not allowed to use those usually because a lot of them are modded and they're not official, so we're not really like supposed to like legally be able to play those on stream because they're kind of like, you know, an illegal import of a game. Is the Battleship game a board game? I mean, I guess, but it's definitely not the type of board games that we're talking about. Yeah, so I played a lot of Unstable Unicorns on Tabletop Sim back in Panini days. Blood on the Clock Tower is a social deduction game like Werewolf or Mafia, but each person playing has their own abilities and there's a DM to help balancing both good and evil. Is it like Bang or I already fucking forgot the other one that I hate. That where they have to fight each other, or is it more like chill, like Shadowhunters? I think Shadowhunters definitely is my favorite board game period to play with friends. It has a really good balance of all of those things, and I feel like it's simple enough that it's easy to like explain to people too. One of my friends, oh wait, no, it's Kokone. I think Kokone was playing. She's been playing a really long campaign of, I'm sure she's talked about it on stream. It's like a, what is that game? Gloom or something? She always like takes pictures of it and sends it to me. She's like, I got my ass kicked today. And I'm like, oh, I'm happy for you / I'm sorry for your loss. Yeah, Gloomhaven. Those like really long campaign board games, man, I don't know how people do it. What's the other one that people do? That's the really long campaign one. Gloomhaven's a great game. Yeah, I haven't played it, but Kokone has played that one. There's also the Yu-Gi-Oh! Capsule Monster game, but I don't know if it became an official board game. Yeah, that's the one that we were talking about. If someone has not already suggested this, there's a really fleshed out Ni no Kuni 2 board game. Really? Wait, okay, by the way, someone suggested Gun and Gun, so I have it open. Is it good? It is a Kickstarter board game, which I'm always a little skeptical about, I'm not gonna lie. I don't know if there have been any good Kickstarter board games. Maybe there have been. But... oh, Pandemic! Yes, that's the other one. Freaking Pandemic. I think I played one game of Pandemic and I was like, nah, never again. We're never finishing this. It's never gonna happen. Frosthaven, like the one on Steam? Kickstarter is just how they do pre-orders these days for board games? Really? Pandemic Cthulhu is great. Oh. There's a Gloomhaven game on Steam. I'm looking it up. Is it good? See, again, all of the board game clients I've ever played have been kind of ass. They've been kind of ass. It's really good. Okay, I'll have to check it out. Maybe Kokone would want to play this with me. There are a lot of great Kickstarters, but it's a gamble. That's why a lot of devs now use TTS to let people play a demo. Makes sense. I feel like I kickstarted a bunch of stuff that I never got. I don't know what happens if you kickstart something and you never get it. Like, I don't know if you can ask for a refund, but I have a couple stuff on Kickstarter that I never got. Oh, I have Root on Steam. I was actually playing that. Kokone and I were both playing that when it first came out on Steam because it's so cute. But it's like Root is a little too big brain for me. But I gotta maybe I gotta get back into it. Root was fun, but it was like my brain hurt playing that one. Deep Rock Galactic got a board game, really? Is it good? You can't ask for a refund. Kickstarter is supposed to be an investment, so it might not pan out. That's so fucking ass. That's so ass. I hate Kickstarter. I think there was like a period between like 2011 and 2013 where like Kickstarter was like all the rage. So I kickstarted a bunch of stuff, and then I started like not getting stuff, and that's when I was like, okay, I'm not kickstarting anything anymore. I am no longer kickstarting anything anymore. It was like a bunch of video games. Like the one that I can remember, I don't even remember the name of the game, but there was this one game that I kickstarted, and it was like they were trying to get like the artists and like music people from like Square Enix to make this crazy JRPG game. I forget what it was called, but it was like between 2011 and 2013, and yeah, that was one of the games that yeah Phoenix something on it. Yes Project Phoenix, yeah, that one it was that one. Oh, were you guys also in that? Did you guys also kickstart that one? DeAndre, thank you so much for the super chat. Thank you. I'm still waiting on it. I mean, I think like last year or something, I got an email and I was like, holy shit, I forgot about this game that I paid a lot of money for. I think I like paid a really high tier too, because it was like it gave you 2 copies or something, like one physical and one digital, something like that. And I was like, oh, I want that one. And then yeah, it never happened. A lot of Kickstarters are more pre-order for board games now, but even established companies with successful Kickstarters can fumble. Yeah, I get that. I never pre-ordered because of stories like this. Yeah, that is rough. Yep, well, I'm glad that I'm not alone, I guess. There's a bunch of you guys in chat who knew exactly what I was talking about as soon as I mentioned it. You guys knew exactly what I was talking about as soon as I mentioned it. I only know it from people making fun of it. Damn. Well, I'm glad that Eiyuden Chronicles is actually happening. See, even Eiyuden Chronicles I was pretty excited about, but I didn't kickstart it because I was just like too fucking burned from all the other Kickstarters that I had backed that never came to fruition. So, yeah, well, it's supposed to come out in a couple months. So, hopefully, you know, in April. We'll know in April. I don't know what Mighty Number 9 is. I haven't heard of that. Mighty Number 9. Oh, is this like a Mega Man-ish game? A Mega Man clone? I was reading about Project Phoenix, and one of the comments was the thing about Phoenix is that they're famous for dying. Stop! Board games are expensive to make and pretty niche, so Kickstarter tells publishers exactly how many to make. Downside is that it's harder to get the game later on. That's true. It did not turn out well. Oh man. That's a Suikoden guys making a new game. Yeah, correct. Eiyuden Chronicles, correct. I will definitely be playing Eiyuden Chronicles when that comes out though. I was a really big fan of Suikoden Tierkreis, even though everyone hates that one. That was like the first Suikoden I played and I really liked it. And then I met Fujo Pal and then she was like, oh my god, you like Suikoden too? And then so she lent me Suikoden 3 and 5. And so I played 3 and 5. And then I played 1 and 2 when it got ported onto the Vita. But I had like weird, for whatever reason, my Suikoden 1-2 port had this weird like stick drift on it. And I couldn't like click on stuff because if I would try to click on an option, it would just like, you know, like keep going down. And then so eventually I had to give up on playing that. So I've been wanting to like play Suikoden 1 and 2 like for real, but I just haven't had the time because I think those are on Steam now, right? Yeah, Suikoden 1 and 2 remasters on Steam now, so I probably... Oh no, not yet. Oh, that's what's coming out. Okay, yeah. This one is the one that's Konami is releasing this, but they're intentionally trying to sabotage Eiyuden Chronicles, is what I heard from the grapevine, and that's why they haven't made an official release date because they're trying to release it around the same time as Eiyuden Chronicles or something. That's what all the Suikoden fans say anyway. I was tempted to get Suikoden DS but passed on it. How was it? Because I was interested. So Suikoden Tierkreis or whatever, which is the one that was on DS. Everyone, all the real Suikoden, quote unquote, hates, real Suikoden fans hate Tierkreis, but I really liked it. I liked it a lot. And like, Crota is baby girl. I love Crota. If you guys like tomboy girls, holy shit. Crota is peak. And then like her sister and the story was just so good. So I really liked Tierkreis, but I actually never played the other Suikodens. I didn't even know they existed. I just played Tierkreis and I thought that was it. I thought that was the only Suikoden game that existed, period. And then it wasn't until I met Fujo Pal that she told me that that's just a spin-off game. But I really enjoyed it. Again, I know a lot of Suikoden fans hated it, but personally, as someone who didn't know anything about Suikoden before then, I really enjoyed it. For people saying to avoid Mighty Number 9, don't worry, because I am not a fan of like Metroidvania / Mega Man-ish games. Like I'm a JRPG player. I'm a dirty, stinky JRPG player, so I don't like to play action games a lot of the times, and I really am bad, especially at 2D platformer type games, like really bad. My depth perception, as you guys have noticed, so any game that requires me to jump is just like horrendous because I have no depth perception whatsoever at all. Yeah, but I've been wanting to kind of go back into old Suikoden games, so I am excited for the remaster. Again, I know that all of the Suikoden fans and / Eiyuden Chronicle fans are kind of upset at Konami about it because they seem to be sabotaging it, but I'm probably gonna get both. I'm probably gonna get both Eiyuden Chronicles and also Suikoden 1 and 2, so you know. If jumping throws you like that, does that mean Final Fantasy 4 is off the table? I have not ever played Final Fantasy 4. Is that the one with Zane in it? Final Fantasy 4. Oh, or is this the one with the Warrior of Light? A Cecil. I thought his name was just the Warrior of Light or whatever. I'm not gonna lie. I will say that. So I think I mentioned Final Fantasy 1. I see. I mentioned it before, but like my first Final Fantasy ever was Final Fantasy 10-2, and then I went backwards to 10, and then I went to 8, and then I played the fucking, what's his name, red guy with the gun spin-off. What is his name? With Yuffie? Ah, shit. Anyway, Dirge of Cerberus. Yes, I played Dirge of Cerberus. Vincent. Correct. And then I watched Advent Children, and I played, I was just talking to my friend about it. What's the fucking... I keep trying to say Chrono Cross. Crisis Core! Yes, Crisis Core. Thank you. Jesus, my brain... See, do you see how broken my brain is today? I literally can't fucking talk. Anyway, I played Crisis Core, and then I was like fucking obsessed with Final Fantasy, despite having only played like a handful of the franchises. And then I played Jesus, I just had the name. Dissidia. I was obsessed with Dissidia. I imported Dissidia from Japan, and I played the shit out of Dissidia. And that's when I learned about a lot of the other Final Fantasy main characters, because I didn't know that a lot of them existed prior to Dissidia. So I really enjoyed Dissidia, and I really enjoyed playing as all of the different Final Fantasy protagonists. Dissidia for PSP Combat, it was so fun. I really enjoyed Dissidia on PSP. I know it had a sequel, but I think the sequel was not as great is what I heard, but I didn't play it. What about Kingdom Hearts? Oh, I did play Kingdom Hearts as well, but I don't really, I mean, even though it's a Square Enix game, I don't really consider it part of Final Fantasy franchise. I actually weirdly wasn't super into Kingdom Hearts. I know that's like blasphemy, and again, this might just be my brain being very like turn-based, being a turn-based player. I am just a turn-based JRPG enjoyer. So I think like with Kingdom Hearts, I was just like okay about it. I know a lot of people were like very into it, and my friends were really into it, and I indulged them by being like, yeah, I think it's cool. Because it is cool, but I'm also not a big Disney fiend. I'm not a big Disney fiend, and I know a lot of people were like, oh my god, Kingdom Hearts is like Disney plus, you know. I was much more a fan of TWEWY than Kingdom Hearts, which is the other Square Enix game. I was a really big TWEWY fan, even though that's also more action than turn-based. But I really liked TWEWY, and I really liked a lot of the characters and the story for TWEWY. I wasn't really into Kingdom Hearts. What are your opinions on Ariku? He's aight, I guess. I'm too Zeta slow. Okay, the math guy in TWEWY is my favorite character. And in Kingdom Hearts, my favorite character was the dance, water dance, that guy. What was his name? Drexel or something? I don't remember. I liked Organization 13 a lot. Demix, correct, Demix. I thought it was cool because he had like a guitar. He looked like a VK star, and he would, yeah, I don't know. Ghosty Chan, thank you so much for the super chat. I gotta head to work now. Have fun, everyone. Here's my farewell gift for the day. Thank you so much. And thank you for the gift of membership. I really appreciate it. Be sure to thank Ghosty Chan if you received a membership, and also lots of hearts and chats in chat for a new member and for Ghosty Chan. Hope you have a good day at work, Ghosty Chan. I love a guitar riff. Me too. I really liked Demix a lot, and I liked his hair because he has a mullet, and I really like anime mullets a lot. Like short mullets, not long mullets. I like short mullets. Like, I'm not talking about like Bleach Ichigo Aizen mullets. Like, that's like too mullety. But I like the short mullets. Red Sky Kai, thank you so much for the super chat. I remember you said he was femboy core. He is femboy core. That's why I like him. He's like femboy VK core. But also my favorite members of VK bands when I was younger was also all the femboys. Like Miku from wait, no, Miku's the singer, isn't he? From my brain. Who's the group? Frackin', I don't remember. I see their faces in my Aphantasia head, but anyway, I don't remember their group name all of a sudden, even though I always know. See, I don't know how do I reset my brain? I think my brain is lagging. Like, how do I do a hard reset? Have I tried turning it on and off again? I feel like I need to do that, you know? Malice Miser, we stand. Hell yeah. NSYNC, no, definitely not NSYNC. Anyway, it was one of the femboy members was a really big fan. So you ready for the Dragon Maid deck case sleeve stuff? I am not, because I don't have any money, so I'm not gonna be able to buy it, which is fine. I already have too much deck stuff anyway. I'm really sad that I'm gonna miss it, but it's okay. Such is life. And luckily I'm actually not a really big fan of the, so if you don't know what we're talking about the Mana Moon. So Mana Moon is like a indie card supply manufacturer. They're like an artist and they make all these card supply stuff with bespoke art from, like, you know, and they'll do Yu-Gi-Oh fan art and sell sleeves and really cool deck boxes from them. I really love their stuff. And they're doing a Dragon Maid release this weekend, but it's Lunar New Year themed. I think if it was normal Dragon Maid theme, I'd be a lot more excited, but I'm not super into the Lunar New Year theme. Only because I feel like some of the stuff is a little too Asian. And I know this sounds fucking weird, but like being Asian and then having like the most Asian playmat possible is a little too much for me. I know that sounds weird, but I don't know. Something about that is like red and it has this big old like Chinese symbol in the middle in gold. Like it's a little weird. It's a little too much. And like I really like the art a lot. So like the sleeves, I might see how much they are and I might pick up a couple of sleeve packs just to have them. But like the playmat and stuff and the deck box too, I don't feel like I'm missing too much out on, just because it's a little, again, too on the nose for me personally. I think they're cool and I think they're beautiful, don't get me wrong. It's just, yeah, I'm really sad I missed out on the shadow stuff as well. I really wanted a lot of the shadow stuff, but you know, I'm not really in the best financial situation to be spending on just random stuff right now, unfortunately. But maybe someday in the future I'll be able to pick up another Mana Moon drop that I really like, so it's fine. I don't feel too upset by it. I'm actually really more upset that I'm not going to be able to pick up the Melfi box drop. The Melfi box looks so cute. I want it so bad, but yeah, I'm more upset about that than the Dragon Maid stuff personally, honestly, because I feel like it's a little bit more usable for me, you know what I mean? That, and speaking of cards, I just got the packages, yes, packages plural, from Weebs of the Shore for the Grand Archive stream this week. Holy hell, did they send me a lot of stuff. Holy hell did they, I was like, my jaw dropped. They sent me a full case. A whole case. I'm like, legitimately, I don't think I'm gonna be able to open them all on stream. There's 6 boxes of cards in there. That's like crazy. I'm so eternally grateful to them. They also sent me a playmat. They sent me 3 of the booster, the starter decks, and they sent me a deck box, and I almost cried. And my roommate was there and she was like, you should have opened this on stream because your reaction. I was like, yeah, but my address is like plastered all over. Well, actually it wasn't sent to my address, it was sent to my friend's address, but still my friend's address is like plastered all over it. I was like, I couldn't, you know, risk it. But oh my god, I was actually so shocked and really grateful to the folks at Weebs at the Shore for sending me that stuff. And I'm really excited to share with you guys all the stuff that we got, because Nova is also getting the same stuff, and we're going to be opening it and talking about it on stream on Saturday. So I hope you guys are looking forward to that. But also, yeah, it's going to be, oh man, it's crazy the amount of stuff they send. I don't think I can actually open all of them on stream. I think it would take us too long actually to open all of the stuff. So I'm gonna have to talk to them. I really wish I could like do a giveaway for the booster boxes, but I don't think, unfortunately, that VNU will be able to allow me to facilitate that, because 6 boxes, that's crazy. 6 booster boxes. It's a whole case. I'm flabbergasted. It's actually insane. It was like a completely sealed case too. It was insane. Actually insane, which I think means that we're gonna get a signed card for sure. So, but yeah, I'm gonna see what I can do. And yeah, it's crazy. And I really do hope you guys will check out the stream. As you guys know, every time we've had a new set for Grand Archive, we've done a stream for it, and the Grand Archive folks, people at Weaves of the Shore, are really amazing. And the game is so fun. I don't play it because I just don't have anyone to play it with near me. And I also just don't, like, you know, I don't have locals to go to for Grand Archive. Although I think that one of the locals that I do go to do have Grand Archive locals. But a little nervous to go to those. But Grand Archive's really picking up. So if you guys are looking for a new TCG to play, I highly recommend Grand Archive. Especially with all the fucking bullshit that's been going on with like magic and stuff. Grand Archive is easily the more superior, you know, game, quote unquote Western game to play. And locals are popping up everywhere, and the people there are so awesome. So I can guarantee that you won't have weird shit and drama like the magic magic stuff that's happening right now, because the people at Weaves of the Shore are super awesome and really sweet and really care about the game and really, you know, pour a lot of love into Grand Archive. So I really hope you will check it out if you are interested or you think it looks cool. Really suggest checking it out. What is it like? It is a Western card system, but with more quote unquote Eastern art. So it has more like anime aesthetics, but it has a mana system much like Magic does. It also has a sort of like commander system that I believe Magic. I've never played Magic, so I don't know. But it has a commander system, or like, you know, in Vanguard, like a Vanguard main character system. So you have like an avatar character that you level up as the rounds go, and you also have mana and life points. So that's kind of how it generally works for Grand Archive. I have quite a number of Grand Archive videos, including, I believe I edited, okay, I'm gonna, before I talk on my ass, give me a second, let me check my own fucking YouTube channel, viewer channel. Please don't play my ad, please. Okay, nice. I'm looking, I'm pretty sure I made one, but I just want to double check. I know I did one for the Digimon stream, I think, but I'm not sure. I did do one. All right, there is a it's not a how to play as so much as I have a Grand Archive gameplay, Rai versus Lorraine starter decks. But it is kind of a how to play because it was my first time playing the game. Also Nova's first time playing the game, so we were learning together. So if you do want to check out an edited version of that stream, it is on my channel. You can just look up like Lyra Grand Archive gameplay, and I have a video on there that you can check out. BBDS, thank you so much for the super chat. When does the Wizard of the Coast not have controversy? You know, you're absolutely right. But I think I've heard a lot more people recently saying like this is the last straw sort of thing, and that they've tolerated with so much bullshit from Wizards of the Coast, but now it's like it's donezo, you know what I mean? Maybe Grand Archive with my my first IRL TCG game. Hell yeah. No locals, they don't sell them where I'm at either. I am so sorry to hear that. Yeah, that's really unfortunate, but if you guys are picking up Grand Archive and you're looking for people to play maybe via webcam, if you don't mind remote duels, you can definitely check out the VNU Discord. I'm sure Grand Archive has their own Discord, but I actually don't know, so I'm not going to say anything. But the VNU Discord, we have a TCG section, and you definitely can reach out, and I'm sure there's other Palcaries or even other just VNU fans that might be open to play. I'm sure you guys have seen there have been a couple Palcarie TCG nights, so if you guys ever want to, you know, continue those, feel free to just like ask, and I'm sure other people would be more than happy to hang out with you and teach you how to play or play with you and stuff like that. Discord, yeah, so the Discord is discord.gg/ the letter V, the letter N, and the letter U, so VNU, and you can check it out there. Need Y-Cross players? Man, I really want to play Y-Cross Aquaton. I really do. Who publishes Y-Cross actually? It's not Bushiroad. Who's Y-Cross? Is that Bandai? I feel like it's Bandai, isn't it? No, it's Tommy. It's Takara Tomy? Really? That's crazy. We love Takara Tomy because they do Zoids. Because they do Zoids. I'm a simple Valkyrie of Grand Archive supports Lyra. I will support Grand Archive. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Grand Archive has been nothing but good to me and Nova. So I really, really, really highly recommend checking them out. Especially if you're looking for a new game to play. I am sorry if you don't have him in your locals. But I do suggest telling your local, you know, LGS. Telling your local LGS if you are interested that like, hey, have you guys ever considered, you know, stocking Grand Archive? I asked the Grand Archive folks and they told me that that's kind of like the best way to get them interest, because then the locals will contact the Grand Archive people and then it kind of rolls from there. So I do highly suggest asking around at your locals too, if you'd like to. I'm a bit shy to join VCs. No worries. No pressure. Only if you want to, if you are, you know, one of those people that really wants to play more TCGs but just doesn't have locals. No pressure at all. You don't have to do things in VC. You don't have to talk with people in voice chat. No worries at all. Yeah. Sorry, give me a second. Also, I was looking at my videos to make sure that I had that video on my channel. One of my cover songs, Change, is pretty close to 10k views. If you guys are interested in my covers, I haven't released a new one in a while, but Change is at 9.2k views. If you'd like to check it out, give it a couple extra views for it to hit 10k, I would really, really appreciate it. I just saw the Internet Overdose hit 20k, which I'm like genuinely kind of embarrassed about, because I feel like my performance for that was not very good. I feel like my performance for that was mid at best. I really don't like my freaking Japanese in that one. My Japanese pronunciation was wobbly, but I do have a couple other songs that are getting there. We also have Zeal of Proud at 8.7k if you'd be interested in checking that one out. That one's with me and Nova, if you guys are also Nova fans. And the art was drawn by the Vanguard, a Vanguard artist. A Vanguard card artist, one of my favorites. She did a new card recently. She did the... Which one is it? Is it the trigger or is it the generic for lyrical? She did one of the new lyrical cards that are in the Divine Z starter, I forget what they're called, startup deck sets. She did one of the generic, so very, very cool. We stan them, their art. They also did the Christmas art. So if you guys liked our Christmas wallpaper art for Symphoria this past couple months, it is the same artist, so be sure to check them out. But anyway, yeah, TCGs, man. I really want to play more TCGs, just haven't really had the opportunity to play too much. Every time I play, it's just like so fun though. So it's always a little sad when I haven't played in a while. I hope you guys have at least been able to enjoy your locals now that the panini is not so panini. The lesser panini, you know? Haven't had the chance to try out Vanguard a bit more lately. Unfortunate. I haven't had time to play. It feels like everyone is busy this month. What's going on? What's happening? What's happening this month? I'm busy. Everyone here is busy. Everyone everywhere else is busy. It's just been, you know, I guess it's just the start of the year. A lot of people doing taxes right now too. I'm busy all the time. What a mood. The Ryan variant stream recently was super funny. Oh, thank you. I hope you enjoyed. I don't know how many people actually play Pokemon TCG though. I always like am uncertain how many people actually play. I haven't really seen like a ton of locals for it. Like, or I've never seen locals. I've seen locals are being had. I've never seen locals while it's happening, so I don't know what the turnout is like, is what I mean to say. So a lot of the places around me, even like the normal like games workshops type places, have Pokemon locals, which is crazy to me, but I've never been there when they're having Pokemon locals, so I don't know if like a lot of people actually like show up, you know, like the random game shop in the mall has Pokemon TCG locals. That's crazy to me. People play the Pokemon TCG. I thought people just collect the cards. I mean, it is really fun to play. It is really fun to play, although I feel like Pokemon TCG, I just can't imagine that a lot of people are playing. Pokemon locals are very hit or miss on the area. Really? BB thank you so much for the super chat. You know what would be hilarious? A Pal World TCG. I would not be surprised. It's doing so well. Did you guys know Pal World is like the #1 selling Steam game of all time, and also like the #1 concurrent players on Steam of all time as well? Isn't that insane? Digimon has been popping off recently at my LGS. We have had at least 10 to 12 man tourneys consistently. That's crazy. I'm so happy for you. I think Digimon is a really awesome game. I'm really happy that they're doing Digimon justice and that Digimon is coming back. I've been like a really big Digimon fan for a long time, and I feel like it's always been like everyone loves Pokemon, and I do too, don't get me wrong, but it's just one of the things where everyone loves Pokemon, but like where's the Digimon love, you know? I feel like weirdly in Asia people have a lot more nostalgia for Digimon than they do here, even though I grew up here, and so my Digimon nostalgia should be the same as like almost everyone else. But like in like China, for example, and also in Korea, I feel like they fucking love Digimon. They really like everyone watched Digimon growing up. You know what I mean? Especially like people my age. Digimon TCG is also accelerated releases this year to eventually have global set releases. I saw that. That's such exciting news, honestly. That's like crazy. I'm really happy about that. And I hope that other games can start to follow suit as well, especially like Vanguard and whatnot, games that I play. LATAM also has big Digimon nostalgia. You know what I thought was really interesting? How LATAM has like really big Saint Seiya nostalgia. I thought that was really interesting. I really enjoyed Saint Seiya, but I was kind of more of an adult when I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the season that was drawn by the magical Doremi people. So I got into that because it was essentially like Heartcatch Precure, but guys. So I was really excited for that. And that's what got me into Saint Seiya, because I've always wanted to get into Saint Seiya, but like the barrier to entry always felt really high. But then as I started like getting into Saint Seiya, I realized that the LATAM community is like huge for Saint Seiya. I had no idea. Really crazy. Digimon leaks have been insane lately. They're making a lot of popular Digimon decks meta again. I feel like that's what you have to do. If you want the money, that's what you have to do, honestly. As a huge fan of both Digimon and Pokemon, they honestly scratch such different itches. Jesus. Yes, I completely agree, but I was just surprised at the lack of nostalgia for Digimon, I guess, in general. Like, it just feels like a lot of people... It definitely is not comparable. I feel like it's really difficult to compare them. It's kind of like comparing Kamen Rider and Super Sentai, personally. I feel like you can't compare those two things. They're meant for different audiences and they have different intentions with them, and what they're trying to achieve out of both of them is very different. So I don't really like it when people compare the two as if they're comparable. I think what I'm just more surprised about is that so many people harbor such strong nostalgia for Pokemon, whereas people just don't really hold as strong of a nostalgia for Digimon, is what I notice in general. I feel like it's because the nostalgia depends on what season you grew up with. That's true. I could see that as well. I feel like people have the biggest nostalgia for like the original seasons, especially if you grew up on like Digimon season 1 and 2. Did you know that in Mexico they broadcast Dragon Ball Super episodes in stadiums like they do with actual boxing? The actual Japanese ambassador to Mexico asked them to stop. They did it anyway? What the heck? Digimon just got handled a bit weirdly in multiple ways compared to Pokemon, I guess. That's true. Didn't help that there weren't many Digimon games in the mid-2000s. Yeah, I feel like they just weren't like as accessible or advertised. I feel like Pokemon was so accessible in a lot of ways. Not just the game, but like you could get fucking Pokemon macaroni and Kraft macaroni and cheese. You could get like Pokemon cereal. You could get Pokemon like Burger King toys, McDonald's toys. But I feel like Digimon, it was just so much harder to like get Digimon stuff when we were younger. I feel like I had a couple Digimon toys, but like I had the Digivices and stuff, but I didn't get like, I didn't have like a Digimon plushie for example. Like I don't even remember ever seeing a Digimon plushie growing up, you know? So I just feel like it was really different the way that they marketed it compared to the way that they very much marketed Pokemon. And it was just like, I remember growing up and watching Pokemon commercials on TV, but I don't remember ever seeing a Digimon commercial. I can't think of a single Digimon commercial, whereas I can think of multiple Pokemon commercials off the top of my head, you know? You saw Digimon plushies at Toys R Us? See, I never saw those. Maybe it's just where I lived or something. I don't really know. To be fair, Pokemon is literally the most popular selling franchise of all time, more than Star Wars and Harry Potter, so Digimon doesn't really compare. Yeah, but what I'm saying is I feel like if they had marketed it properly in the States, it could have kind of been almost similar, you know? Can confirm, I'm from Mexico. My whole family went out to eat at our favorite taco place when the final fight of Super was going on, since they were giving free drinks to anyone with Dragon Ball shirts. Really? That's crazy. That's so funny. I just think Digimon and Pokemon should make up and kiss. No, I agree. I agree. Mexico loves Dragon Ball. Well, so does America. I feel like America has a really strong nostalgia for Dragon Ball as well. A lot of Americans have really strong. I mean, I definitely grew up with Dragon Ball too, but I think Dragon Ball, I don't know if it's just I didn't care. Okay, like I'm like a little girl. Like I don't want to watch like muscly dudes fight each other. I'm sorry. My favorite character in Dragon Ball was Bulma and Trunks. Like, come on. Like I feel like what I wanted in a series was not what Dragon Ball was offering to me. You know what I mean? I also really liked like cute animal characters, which I feel like Dragon Ball didn't have a lot of. So I much preferred stuff, like I said, like I loved Zoids and Digimon and Pokemon because it was like you get a cute animal or like a cool animal companion. That was like really up my alley because as you guys know, I was like a fucking horse girl growing up. Oh, I loved Hamtaro. I loved Hamtaro. Hamtaro, if we work together, it's much better. My best friend, we like sunflower seeds much, much, much. Hamtaro, it's Hamtaro time. I really love Hamtaro, and I also fucking love Ham Ham Heartbreak, which is like the Hamtaro game. I've also mentioned this before that a lot of people didn't know, but there was this like Hamtaro sticker that was really popular in my elementary school. It was like these Hamtaro, they were pink Hamtaro stickers that were plastic. Like they were little plastic, they look like tiles. Little plastic tiles that had Hamtaros printed on them. And the girls in my school, we would all trade those. Like the individual tiles. Like we'd trade a single sticker. We'd cut them out of the paper. And then we would trade these Hamtaro stickers. So my favorite Hamtaro characters were Panda because I really liked pandas growing up, and I also really liked Cappy. Good times. I think some of the Hamtaro games on GBA was made by the same devs as Mario and Luigi RPG. You know, I would not be surprised because Ham Ham Heartbreak genuinely is so good. Like an actual genuinely good game. Ham Ham Heartbreak. And I love that game so much. I actually started playing Ham Ham Heartbreak recently. It's a really cute game. It's really cute and it's also just really good. And also it looks really good. So when I was in elementary school, I traded Hamtaro stickers and I collected and built Zoids, which should tell you a lot about why I am the way I am today, despite not knowing anything was anime, you know? I didn't know any of those things were anime. I didn't know what anime was at the time. That's just what was like on TV. I also had like a Digivice. I would use that during PE and like run around to try to get them experience points. Good times. I had the Digivices. I also had a Pikachu. I really, really also liked the Mario and Luigi game. Was it a DS game? The one where they could like jump on each other's heads? That one was like a really favorite game of mine growing up as well. Did you ever think about what your Digicrest would be? I did not. You know, it's weird because ironically, I didn't really have... Yes, Superstar Saga. Correct. That's the one that I played. I didn't have like the concept of an OC until I was in high school. Because like, I think I just didn't... It never occurred to me to even think about making a character in that world. Maybe this has to do with my aphantasia / lack of like, I don't daydream, right? So maybe that's why. I don't know. I don't know if normal people daydream about like being in the story, but I've never daydreamed that or ever created a character until I was in high school. And then I was exposed to like DeviantArt and then Gaia Online. And then that's when I learned about like role playing and also learned about like making OCs and stuff. Yeah. You didn't have an imaginary friend when you were a kid? Nope, never. I had a Pokemon OC. I had 2 Pokemon OCs. I had like me as a Pokemon trainer OC, and then I had a Pokemon gym leader OC. Beta Lily, thank you so much for the super chat. And yet today she can't go walking enough to keep her vital bracelet buddy alive. Shh, I am different. I do not leave the house now. I can make that choice. I can make that choice. When I was younger, I didn't have that choice. I didn't have that choice. Did you ever create your own Digimon Pokemon with moves, etc.? No, I never did. I think the like I said, the closest I had was I had the Pokemon OC, which was like me as a Pokemon trainer. And then I had the Pokemon gym leader OC. And then I had the Soul Eater OC. That was like the only OCs that I had growing up. I feel like what I would do is I would kind of self-insert as opposed to being like, if I were in this show, I would have this and this. It was like, I would watch these shows and I'm like, oh, for example, I really like Gatomon. So I guess I self-insert myself as Kari. Because she has Gatomon. Not because of anything else, but purely because I like Gatomon and she has Gatomon. So therefore, I will self-insert as Kari. And now Kari is my favorite character. That was kind of how my brain worked when I was younger. Was not super imaginative, I suppose. But I really enjoyed... I don't know. I enjoyed like story. Even when I was younger, like I really enjoyed story more than like imagining my own story, if that makes sense. I don't know if I articulated that correctly. Did you prefer Kari with Daisuke or TK? Well, Kari and TK are like kind of OTP. They're like Osana Najimi, right? Like they're like childhood friends. They have to be together. She loved reading at a young age. That track, you know. Okay, ironically, I hated reading, but when I did read, I enjoyed it. It was one of those things where like I just didn't like the idea of reading. I really and then so that's why once I read manga, my mind was fucking blown. When I read manga for the first time, I was literally like, because I have aphantasia, I didn't understand why people liked books so much. Like, I'm not being taken on a journey when I read these books. Take a look, it's in a book, reading rainbow. I can't go anywhere. See, I couldn't do that. I couldn't go anywhere. When I read a book, it was just literally like black, empty, darkness. So then when I first read a manga, I was like, oh my god, I can see what's happening now. It all makes so much more sense. I see it. I see it. And then, but I did have like, I had books that I really enjoyed. I've mentioned it before. I really liked Aragon, whatever the fuck you want to call it. I liked Aragon a lot. I also really liked the Harry Potter series a lot growing up. And I also really liked the Artemis Fowl series growing up. So those are the books that I enjoyed personally. And Then when I got older, I kind of had to read a lot of books for school. So I didn't like read for fun. I only mostly read because I had to. And it wasn't until I was well into adulthood that I was like, I should probably read again. I haven't read something in a really long time. And then so I went and read, I would read a bunch. But when I was in my reading arc, I mostly read nonfiction. Did you read Animorphs? I read a little bit of Animorphs. I also read the series of Unfortunate Events. I really liked that one as well. Animorphs was a little bit before my time. So like, I remember Animorphs and Goosebumps when I was in elementary school, but it was a little too, like, I don't know. Well, at that time, actually, I could have read those, I guess. A lot of my friends were reading them, but I was mostly too busy playing video games. I was too busy playing video games instead. But you know what? Video games taught me so much. I feel like I learned so much from video games. For example, I remember when I was like a baby, I was like in elementary school, younger elementary school, and I distinctly remember I knew how to spell the word strength in a spelling test because my Snorlax had strength in my Pokemon Blue cartridge. Captain Underpants was your all-time favorite. I also really enjoyed Captain Underpants, but that's not like a quote-unquote chapter book, right? Like that's like more like a joke slash, it's almost comics too. It's like mostly illustrated, but I really did enjoy Captain Underpants a lot growing up. I feel like Aragon and what were the other ones I listed? Artemis Fowl or Series of Unfortunate Events. Those are a little bit more chapter book-y. Diary of a Wimpy Kid was another one, so I am too old for Diary of a Wimpy Kid. It was not out when I was younger. If that ages me, but it will age me, but if that gives you an idea of what my age is like. A lot of the Roald Dahl books. Oh yeah, I definitely read a lot of Roald Dahl as well growing up. Yeah, Beverly Clearly as well. Video games are good for a lot besides hand-eye coordination. I know people have gotten secondhand language acquisition from video games. Well, I mean, I learned Japanese to play Idolmaster, so you know. If we're talking about books that go hard, Hungry Caterpillar, that is definitely not the type of books that we're talking about. Where the wild things are. Those are definitely not the types of books we're talking about. Those are like picture books. Those are like for like babies learning to read. Idolmaster, the OG one? Yes, correct. The OG one. I had the version. I don't remember what version it was, but it was like the version that had Mickey, Yayoi, and Ami, I think, in it. BB Does, thank you so much for the super chat. When I was in elementary school, I was reading encyclopedias and Stephen King books. Really? I have never been a Stephen King reader. I'm not gonna lie. Not gonna lie. I'm not really a Stephen King person. I've watched a lot of like Stephen King movie adaptation, but I haven't read any of the books. Reread Where the Wild Things Are if you don't think it clears any adult novels easily. Stop. I read a lot of things I really shouldn't have. What do you mean by that? Are you talking about porn? Idolmaster 2 is the reason I bought a PS3. Hell yeah. Wasn't PS3 region locked though? Of Mice and Men was a good read. I had to read Of Mice and Men for school. So I have a couple books that I really enjoyed that I had to read for school. So Of Mice and Men was one of them. Another one was a wolf book because I was a horse girl. Horse/wolf girl. What was it? Call of the Wild. Call of the Wild. I really enjoyed that as well. And what else did I read? I read a lot of like, you know, I don't know. A lot of books in school that I actually really enjoyed. I feel like I was a little bit petty about it though, and I would like pretend like I didn't enjoy them, but I actually did. Oh, what was it? The Giver? I think I enjoyed that one as well. Is that the one where they like see in black and white and at the end they see color or whatever? She was a soon for books. I was a soon about education. The Giver, I haven't heard of that in a while. Didn't The Giver have like a movie not that long ago that was like really bad? Like a Hollywood movie that was like really, really bad? But I remember enjoying the book when I was younger. It did. Yeah. It's like Aragon. It had also like a really bad movie adaptation. Count of Monte Cristo was a great read from school. Read it a few years ago and still holds up. I haven't read Count of Monte Cristo actually. I read not from school but just like for fun. I read Picture of Dorian Gray, and that is actually one of my favorite books to this day. There was an Ender's Game book. I don't think I've read Ender's Game. I never read Ender's Game. I never read Hunger Games. I never read like a lot of those young adult novels I didn't really read. So I like kind of skipped that, and then because I read a lot for school in like high school and then university, and then after university I didn't read for a long time, and then I kind of like got back into reading, but I got back into nonfiction, and then I read Game of Thrones, the first book and then half of the second book, and then I didn't read a lot of fiction books besides that. Maybe guys, thank you so much for the super chat. I remember reading Grapes of Wrath for AP Lit and then finding out they changed the list, so I read that book for nothing. Bottom 10 books for me. Grapes of Wrath. Oh shoot, I don't really remember what happens in that one. I keep kind of getting that one mixed up with Of Mice and Men. Is that the one with like, what was her name? The one, it's like takes place in the South. Is it that one? Kind of vaguely remember that. Have I read Twilight? I have not. I have not read Twilight. Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Okay, so I had a friend who was obsessed with Neil Gaiman, and she lent me all of his books when I was reading a lot, and I did not read like any of them, unfortunately. So Neil Gaiman is one of the authors that are on my list of like books that I really want to read that I never got around to. So that was one. When you guys said that, there was one that I did read that I enjoyed from one of those hyped up authors. Oh shoot, my brain's not working, sorry. Hitchhiker's Guide isn't Neil Gaiman? Oh, I thought Hitchhiker's Guide was Neil Gaiman. Oops. I don't know. My brain went sci-fi and I assumed it was Neil Gaiman. It's Douglas Adams. Yeah, I haven't read Hitchhiker. I've watched the movie though. I did watch the movie. Wow, what book was I gonna say that I read? Oh, Murakami books. I like, you know, when Q84 came out, I know everyone was like losing their minds over Murakami, so I went to go read some Murakami books. I read 1Q84 and then I read this other one, something about like a river or a lake or something, and I did not like either of them. Murakami is one of those authors that like I feel slightly like they're a little overrated. Not a huge fan personally. Maybe it's just not my cup of tea. And I think after I read both 1Q84 and that other, the lake one that I was talking about, I was like, okay, I'm not reading any more Murakami books. I'm not a fan of any of these books. And then that's when I went to nonfiction. Baby Des, thank you so much for the super chat. To Grapes of Wrath, nothing happens and it rewrote history. People think it's a historical fiction when it's actually just fiction. That's probably why I hate the book. Also being salty about AP Lit. Yeah, I see. I don't really remember what happened in it, so I can't say. Oh, the one that I was thinking about was the one that has like Scott. A girl named Scott. Am I crazy? Am I making that up? And there's like a dog. And then there's like a immortal drink. Like she drinks something to become immortal. To Kill a Mockingbird! Yeah, that's the one I was thinking of. Scout, not Scott. Correct. Yeah, that was the one that I got confused with Grapes of Wrath. That was one I read in school that I feel like I didn't really enjoy, but I feel like if I read it now, I might enjoy it a little bit more. I don't know. Not sure. I do recommend Gaiman though. American Gods, Anansi Boys, Ocean at the End of the Lane is great. If you read one Murakami book, you've read them all, to be honest. I feel like now that I'm like retrospecting on it, because when I read the Murakami books, I didn't really realize that I had aphantasia at the time. I feel like they might be a little bit too descriptive for me, that it kind of loses me, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? I feel like it's a lot. I remember it just being so overtly flowery, and it felt really like too dense in that aspect that I didn't really enjoy it. Hope you didn't read Romeo and Juliet in school. I did a whole unit on Shakespeare, so I read a lot of Shakespeare. Do I remember anything from Shakespeare? No. Do I remember anything at all from Shakespeare? Not at all. I barely remember it. But I do remember when I was doing Shakespeare at school, there was this, God, do you guys remember Spark Notes? There was this line of books called, No Fear Shakespeare? Do you guys know what the fuck I'm talking about? So essentially, it was like a Spark Notes version of Shakespeare, except it basically what it would do is it would have a page, like one side on the left page, it would have the original Shakespearean Shakespeare, and then on the right page, it would have that same exact stuff, but basically quote unquote like translated into modern English. And that really fucking saved my ass throughout all of high school and for a class that I took in college, because I feel like I really understood Shakespeare because of that. But like, because sometimes the ye old English was just too much for me, and I would just read all of my Shakespeare through the No Fear Shakespeare instead of reading it normally. I also spark noted a bunch of stuff as well. We also had to, like, I don't know why they did this, but they would make us, I remember in high school, there was a section of our class that was all Shakespeare, and we had to memorize a bunch of stanzas from it. Why? Why did they make us do that? It's so useless information. When am I ever going to use that? Like, I feel like I can recite. I mean, I'm kind of forgotten it because high school was a very, very, very long time ago for me. But I don't know why the fuck they made us do that. So like, for example, I remember like the Romeo line was like, Romeo, Romeo, wherefore art thou Romeo, to refuse thy father and deny thy name, blah, 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 blah. And then we like had to memorize like the entire like monologue. It was very weird and not useful in my life. I think studying Shakespeare is great, and I actually feel like I learned a lot, and I feel like it was just really fun to learn, and Shakespeare's stories are really, really enthralling, so I really enjoy that. But like, why the fuck do I need to memorize a line from it? To be or not to be, that is the question. That's all I remember. I just remember like in the but we had to monologue that one as well, I'm pretty sure. To refuse thy father, to deny thy name, something about Montagues and something about somebody else. You still remember those Hamlet soliloquies so many layers? Why? Yeah, exactly. See, at least in my like weird language classes that I took, I remember I told you guys I took like a year or two of Spanish, 2 years actually of Spanish. And my Spanish is ass, but I do still remember my Spanish monologue or my dialogue that I had to memorize, which is like good because now that kind of is helpful. It's more helpful than remembering a line from fucking Romeo and Juliet. What am I gonna do with that? You got to read The Little Prince and Les Miserables in French. Wait, that's awesome. I would have loved that, but I never took French. I would have loved that though. I feel like I quote Les Miserables way more than anyone understands what I'm quoting for. Yeah, I can say donde está la biblioteca, me llamo T-Bone, la baño discoteca, discoteca, muñeca, el perro manteca. But anyway, I feel like every time someone says who am I try to say like 2, 4, 6, 0, 1, and no one knows what I'm quoting because I'm quoting fucking Les Mis, and nobody likes Les Mis as much as I liked Les Mis. I don't know why I had this really weird obsession with Les Mis, and there was this one Les Mis like 20th anniversary or something concert, 10th anniversary, I don't know. No, it was definitely not the 10th anniversary. It was some anniversary concert for Les Mis that they recorded, and it had one of the Jonas brothers in there. I think it was Nick Jonas. Was it Nick Jonas? No, it's Joe Jonas, I think. He was in there, And it was, they weren't acting, but they were dressed up and they would come out and like sing all the songs in Les Mis, and I would literally like just repeat that. I would play that hour-long concert or whatever on repeat while I worked or cleaned or what. That like got me through many years of my life. I don't know why. And I was so sad when they took it down from YouTube, because it used to be on YouTube, and I was like, if only I had just downloaded it and saved it somewhere. Like, I loved that recording so much, and I really enjoyed that concert. I just really like Les Mis a lot. So then when the movie came out, I went in and I sobbed, and I really loved the movie as well, even though I know everyone doesn't like it, but I liked it. Ironically, I did not have a Rent phase. I knew people who liked Rent, but I did not have a Rent phase. I actually have never seen Rent, ironically. I had a Les Mis phase, I had a Wicked phase, and what other, Something Rotten phase. I had a Avenue Q phase. I had a bunch of weird musical phases. Wicked the GOAT. It's funny because I really loved Wicked, and then I actually got to see it on Broadway, and I really fucking enjoyed the musical so much. But the book was fucking trash. I hate the Wicked book. It was just so bad. I love Avenue Q. I've seen it multiple times live, and it's just so amazing every time. I had a Legally Blonde the musical phase, which is like one of the best musicals of all time, that is so fucking slept on because it's like quote unquote like Legally Blonde, but it's actually so good. I had like a recording of it on DVD because my dad recorded it for me because it was playing on MTV or something, and he recorded it, and I've literally watched that like disc, the DVD disc of the Legally Blonde musical performance like a billion times. I've never seen Avenue Q live. I wish I could. It's so good. I hope you guys have a good rest of your night. Thank you for the stream and for the advice on the board games and Grand Archive. Yeah, have a good night. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. Did you have a Hamilton phase? No, but I know recently when it was out on Disney Plus, I was like, oh, I can finally have my Hamilton phase. But then everyone told me it was like 3 hours long, and I was like, okay, I need to set aside time, 3 hours to watch Hamilton, and then I just never did it. And I think it's not on there anymore, right? Spamalot. Oh, I actually watched Spamalot live. I watched it in Vegas. It was one of the first musicals I ever saw live, and I really fucking loved Spamalot. It was so fucking good. And I also really enjoyed Mamma Mia a lot. And that's how I learned a lot of ABBA music, was because my mom had a Mamma Mia CD that we used to like loop in the car. And I like memorized, when I was a kid, I memorized every single lyric in Mamma Mia, including, because it's all ABBA songs, right? But including like their dialogue. Including the dialogue bits, I really enjoyed, so I like memorized all of them. Good times. The only musical I watched live was Cats, and it was amazing, so I was really sad the reputation was tainted by the movie. Yeah, unfortunate. I've never seen Cats live either. Mamma Mia, here I go again. Mama, how can I resist ya? Yes, I've been broken hearted. Blue since the day we parted. Why did I ever let you go? Mamma Mia, now I really know. Why I should not have let you go. It's a really good good musical. Not to dox myself, but there's an ABBA song with my name prominently in it, so I've been forced to listen to ABBA my entire life. It was made just for you. How about sequel to Phantom of the Opera? I've actually never watched Phantom of the Opera. Not gonna lie, I've never watched Phantom of the Opera, and I have definitely not seen the sequel. The Phantom of the Opera is here inside my soul. I only know, okay, ironic, this is oh my god, this sounds so fucking disgusting and nerdy. The only Phantom of the Opera, and the only reason why I know the Phantom of the Opera plot is because I watched on Final Fantasy 14, there was a reenactment of Phantom of the Opera. And if you guys have played Final Fantasy 14, you guys probably know what I'm talking about. And if you haven't seen it, you actually should check it out because it's actually fucking incredible how they do it. They essentially they do an entire performance of the Final Fantasy 14 Phantom of the Phantom of the Opera in Final Fantasy 14, and they all have like spell effects that match the different scenes, and there's different actors and they all memorize their actual lines and they type them out in the chat, so it's like an actual cinematic performance. And they like do so many cool things and they glitch so many things, and they like also make like a bunch of like, there's an entire cast and people like come out and they have places on the stage and they know where to stand and they know how to do light. There's like a lighting person. It's like actually an entire fucking cinematic experience. If you like Final Fantasy 14, I highly recommend it. It's not role playing. It's not role playing. It's more like an actual theatrical performance. Because they're not role playing something. They're literally reciting the lines. There's lighting crew that put on the lights using like the internal Final Fantasy 14 systems, and like different actors have different roles. It's like actually insane. And they also like have a music like there's like a producer for the music in the background because they have to switch the music depending on the scene. So they put in different like records on the little like what do you call it, the phonograph or whatever the fuck it is that they use in Final Fantasy 14. Actually insane. It's actually insane, and it's actually really, really good. It sounds really silly, but when you watch, like, I was actually blown away. I think I found it because someone was kind of making fun of it, and I was like, what is it? And I looked at it and I was like, wait, holy shit, this is actually good. Like, this is actually good. Like, what the fuck? What in the actual fuck? And I sat there for 2 hours or whatever watching the entire production. I was like fucking blown away. Absolutely blown away. Really amazing performance. It's all recorded on YouTube somewhere, so you can go look it up. Incredible performance. And it was just so well thought out too. So well thought out. Yeah, they've done a lot of productions. I think also, like, if you want to see it live in the game, you have to, like, get on their, like, fucking wait list, because there's people who are, like, actual fans of the production who want to go see it live in Final Fantasy 14. So they have, like, a live audience and everything. And if you, like, there's, like, a whole ass, like, you have to wait, because only a certain number of people can be in a guild house at a time. So, like, there's, like, a line to get in. Like, it's like a real thing. It's crazy. Anyway, I definitely had a bit of a thing where I really loved musicals, so I watched a lot of musicals, and I really enjoy musicals a lot. I was supposed to go see a live production of the Legally Blonde musical, because it is my favorite musical, like I've said, but I have never been able to see it live because it just I just keep missing it. There was one time I was gonna see it and they were having a show in Korea, but it got canceled for some reason. I don't know. You made it in once? Hell yeah. It's really, really cool. Being you the musical when? Man, I love musicals, but I do not have the pipes for a musical. Like, I am not a musical singer. I can't sing any song that's in any musical because they're just... Oh, you know what song I can sing? Master of the House. I can sing that because it's supposed to be a joke song. I can sing that one. Another favorite musical of mine recently, since we were talking about Shakespeare, is actually Something Rotten. I actually found out about Something Rotten more recently than I did. Like, I found out about it in 2017, 18 maybe. I think it was closer to 2018 or 2019 actually. And it's so good. If you guys are into like literary puns, or actually into musicals in general, and into comedy, so it's like it's basically a musical satire. It's a musical satire that's making fun of other musicals, and that's what makes it so fun and so good. Highly recommend Something Rotten. I was lucky enough to watch it live as well, which I was so excited about because it's such a good one. And then you can also see Shakespeare being an asshole and being like a diva with a massive codpiece. He has a massive codpiece. It's really funny. Again, it's just like a huge satire on theater, a huge satire on musicals. Highly recommend it. You missed watching Disney on Ice. Oh my god, I actually watched Disney on Ice twice growing up, and I fucking love Disney on Ice as well. Hedwig and the Angry Inch is a great time. I also watched Hedwig and the Angry Inch live, but I watched it in Korea, so I watched it in Korean. Really good. I really love Hedwig and the Angry Inch. Also really, really fun. I don't really love solo musicals though, and Hedwig and the Angry Inch is very much that. So I wasn't as much of a fan. I think there's something about like in musicals that group number always like gives me chills and I cry. So Hedwig and the Angry Inch sort of lacks that a little bit. Ever watched the Book of Mormon? No, but I really want to. It's on my list of musicals that I really want to watch. My musical bucket list, if you will. I saw Disney on Ice once. You know, speaking of which, I should go see Disney on Ice again. I haven't seen that since I was like in elementary school, and I remember really liking it a lot. But I haven't seen it since I've been an adult. I really love the musical productions at the Disneyland / Disney Worlds. So I remember one time I saw like a Aladdin. Wait, was that on the Disney cruise? I don't remember. There was an Aladdin musical production that I really, really enjoyed. And I also really enjoyed a couple of the other musical productions that they used to put on at the theme parks as well. When it's the end of Act 1, the whole cast is doing a reprise of the previous song at the same time. They all sync up peak. I know. It makes me cry. I'm like such a softie for musicals. I like fucking love musicals so much. Lion King musical is really good. That was actually probably the first musical I've ever seen in my entire life, but I was like really little, and I remember being really scared of the actors that like run through the aisles because they're all like dressed up and stuff, and I was like literally like crying and like freaking out. The Aladdin stage musical, Disney California Goes Hard. Oh, maybe that's the one that I've been to, the one at Disney California Adventure, the Aladdin one. Are you talking about musicals? Don't give me flashbacks of when I helped out the background music for my high school's rendition of Les Mis. What did you play? I was also in my high school rendition of Les Mis. I was in the pit. So I played xylophone, triangle, chimes. I played, what else did I play? The vibraphone? I think it's mostly xylophone though. Like the Master of the House song, that song was fucking hard because I had to like sync it up to like the singing, and the xylophone, if you mess up, is really fucking obvious. The Aladdin musical, sad they don't show it anymore. They don't? What do they show instead? Do they have anything else instead, or it's just nothing now? Is it just emptiness now? I feel like Universal Studios also had a musical that I really enjoyed, but I don't remember what it was. A Frozen musical? Ooh, I'd want to see that. You're a woodwind guy and it was actually really fun. Nice. That's so fun. I love musicals so much. I actually really miss like making music together with people. I was not very good at it and I never took it really seriously, but now that I'm older, like I just miss it a lot. Like it's just something about like everyone performing at the same time is just so like chills, you know? Your stage crew in your high school, your favorite show you did was Little Shop of Horrors, and Audrey 2 prop was really cool. Oh, Little Shop of Horrors is so awesome. That's such a good one. It is a really good show. I feel like I haven't really heard much of it recently. I feel like I haven't seen any productions of it either. Christmas Story was a really good musical. They even had dog actors in it. A Christmas Story musical? I don't think I've seen that one. Little Shop of Horrors is a classic. It really is. Okay, I think my friends may be back. Let me just check really quick. I'm assuming they would message me, but I heard the door. I heard the door, so I'm assuming they are back. We got a little sidetracked today. We got really excited about musicals. We got a little excited about musicals, but that's cool. I didn't know so many of you guys actually liked musicals. That's really exciting to hear. I freaking love musicals. I always felt like musicals or enjoying musicals was really niche. So it's cool to see so many of you guys are so familiar with them. And board games. Yeah, board games too. Although board games I feel like nowadays is not as niche. I feel like 10 years ago or whatever, when I like first was playing board games, it was pretty niche. Not a lot of people, like if you said board games back then, people are like, what, like Monopoly? But like now if you say board games, people like generally know like what you're kind of talking about, you know? So that's really awesome and exciting. This was the greatest zatsu of all time. Still niche, but less so. Yeah, for sure. But I have all of these billion tabs up now from your guys' board game recommendations. So I'm going to check them out after stream. And maybe try it out and let you guys know if with my friends. And I'll definitely keep you guys updated if I try any of your suggestions and if I like them. Yeah. But I'm going to head out, I think, question mark, probably. Yeah. Liotsu. Sorry for the very short stream, although I guess we still streamed for 2 hours, so it was 2 hours of just chatting. And I also feel so much better. In the beginning of stream, I was feeling really nauseous, but I feel way better now. I don't know why. Palcary pilled. I hope you guys have a good rest of your day or a good night. Tomorrow we are going to be playing a asymmetrical puzzle game with Shiki. I believe that's tomorrow. So we're gonna be playing that tomorrow. I hope you guys are looking forward to it. I'm very much looking forward to it. Should be fun. And I'll see you guys very soon. Liotsu. Don't forget to check out my cover songs. I would really appreciate it if you could check out Change in particular, since we're very close to 10K. I would also really appreciate if you could check out the VN Universe episodes that have been coming out every Sunday. It is on the VNU official YouTube channel, and I also have a separate animated episode playlist on my channel that you can check out. And please give those a like, and please make sure to comment on those too. Yeah, the shorts as well. I'd really appreciate a like and a comment on those as well. Really appreciate you guys so much. Liotsu, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye bye.